ideas anymore. It's how is it actually changing the way we work, the way we live?
Yeah.
Getting past the hype.
That's the core of it, yeah.
So that's our mission today. We're going to do a deep dive, really get into a stack of, well, pretty compelling sources. We're talking cutting-edge AI agent platforms, real-world healthcare examples, big enterprise changes.
Wide range.
Definitely. We've got insights from things like the AI Transformation Playbook by Insignia Ventures partners, and some really interesting studies like one on telemedicine down in Indonesia. So the goal isn't just listing what AI can do. We want to unpack the nuts and bolts. How are companies actually putting this stuff into practice? What challenges are popping up?
Now, what does it all mean going forward, especially in dynamic places like Southeast Asia?
Precisely. All right, let's get into it.
Sounds good. You really hit on something crucial there. We are seeing a truly foundational shift.
How so?
Well, think back to mobile internet. Its big win was solving connectivity, right? Getting everyone online.
Game changer.
Now, generative AI or Gen AI, that's the next massive leap. And its main job, it's all about productivity.
Supercharging productivity.
Exactly. By processing, understanding, and then, crucially, generating useful, insightful outputs from just these massive amounts of information we have.
So it's not just access anymore, it's sense-making, creating something new from it. That feels different.
It is fundamentally different. And get this, while AI's cognitive ability, let's say, is maybe 30 to 50% of a human's right now, its cost of productivity is exponentially cheaper.
Exponentially, wow.
And that incredible efficiency, it's powered by things that are getting more accessible.
Yeah.
Electricity, powerful GPUs, and of course, just mountains and mountains of data. It's a potent mix.
That really puts the scale into perspective, which leads us nicely into this whole idea of human-machine collaboration, right? It feels like that spectrum is evolving super fast.
Oh, absolutely. We're moving way beyond just, using simple software tools. We're entering an era of pretty sophisticated AI agents.
Okay, so break that down. What kinds are we talking about?
Well, broadly, you can think of maybe three main types right now. First, you've got co-pilots.
Co-pilots, like in planes?
Sort of. Here, the human is still firmly in the driver's seat, initiating prompts for specific tasks. Think of Microsoft's Dragon Copilot. It's a voice-activated AI helping doctors with notes, like a really efficient scribe.
Got it. Human directs, AI assists.
Exactly. Then you've got supervisory AI agents. These can handle simpler, more repetitive stuff on their own.
Okay.
But crucially, they know when things get complex or weird, and they flag it for human approval. They ask for help, basically.
Makes sense. What's the third type?
That's the frontier, really. Autonomous AI agents. These are designed to tackle complex series of tasks without needing human intervention at every step.
Wow. Fully autonomous.
Oh, that's the goal. These last two, supervisory and autonomous, they're really pushing us past predictable workflows into stuff with, high variation, lots of specifics. It's early days, but that's the direction.
It's amazing how fast that's progressing.
Yeah.
And all this capability is built on, layers, right? This stack of innovation.
That's a great way to put it. A pyramid, almost.
Yeah.
At the bottom, you've got the hardware, the chips, the GPUs, the raw power.
That muscle.
Yep. Then the foundational models, the actual AI brains like LLMs, train them on just insane amounts of data.
Okay.
Above that, the infrastructure, the platforms and tools that let developers actually use these models.
While making it accessible.
Right. And finally, at the top, the application layer. That's where all that power turns into the specific tools and solutions we actually interact with. Each layer is its own hotbed of innovation.
Okay, so we've got the concepts down. Let's make this really concrete. You mentioned a fascinating example from Indonesia with AI in healthcare.
Yes, specifically in geriatric telemedicine. And it's not just a cool tech demo. It tackles a really critical demographic issue there.
What's the situation?
Well, Indonesia's elderly population has grown significantly, close to 11% back in 2021. But here's the striking part. Something like 42% reported health complaints.
Okay, quite high.
But only 15% were actually seeking outpatient treatment. That's a huge gap. It points to this urgent need for care that's just easier to access.
A massive unmet need. So how does AI fit in?
Well, this is where the implementation details get really interesting. The study looked at demand using something called the Human Organization Technology Fit Model, HOT-T for short.
HOT-Fit.
Yeah, and socio-technical system ideas too. The core insight is that for tech like this to actually work long-term, you need this perfect harmony between the people using it, the organization's processes, and the technology itself.
All three have to mesh perfectly.
Exactly. If one piece is off, even the best tech can just, fail to deliver.
Makes total sense.
Yeah.
So what did they find were the key requirements?
They identified 10 key dimensions, but we can group them into 3 big areas. First, technology. The needs were pretty clear. High-quality audio and video, obviously.
Essential for telemedicine.
Right. Plus, seamless integration with electronic health records, EHRs, so doctors have the full patient history. Robust Wi-Fi, secure data handling, features like e-prescriptions, drug delivery.
Practical stuff.
And critically, it had to be really user-friendly, designed for acceptance, especially by older users who might not be tech-savvy.
Okay, so that's the tech. What about the human side?
That's hugely important. You have to recognize the diversity. Elderly users range from totally independent to completely immobilized, so you need individualized assessments.
One size doesn't fit all.
Not at all. And
Yeah.
on the provider side, you need a whole team.
Yeah.
Geriatric specialists, GPs, trained in geriatrics, nurses, dedicated IT folks, management.
A multidisciplinary approach.
Sure. Precisely. And interestingly, in this specific city, Padang, a key goal was also educating the elderly and families on home care, partly because self-medication is quite common there.
So education is part of the service too. Interesting. What's the third area?
Organization. This is about building an integrated ecosystem, connecting the clinic not just to records and pharmacies, but also to community health centers for easier referrals.
Joining up the dots.
Exactly. They mapped out 3 main ways patients could access the service from home, via community centers or family doctors, all aiming for this integrated digital geriatric care system.
Sounds complex.
It requires strong internal policies, too, for IT use, service standards, ethics like informed consent, data privacy. And then there's the external side, complying with Ministry of Health rules, local government regs, agreements for data sharing. It's a whole system.
That framework, thinking about tech, people, and organization together, it feels so vital. It's how you actually avoid the common pitfalls and deliver real value, especially for vulnerable groups.
It really is a template for making a real-world impact.
Okay, so let's broaden the lens a bit now. Moving from specific industries like healthcare, how is AI impacting, say, core business operations, like data automation or financial management?
Well, connecting back to what we said earlier, Gen AI offers cheaper productivity, but it's by exponential orders of magnitude.
Exponential again. How?
2 main ways, really. One is just making the user experience way better with these intuitive GPT-driven tools. The other is speeding up tech development itself using coding copilots. Developers can write code much faster, more efficiently.
Right. But what about processing existing data?
That's where we see the AI leap, particularly in data processing. We're moving way beyond old school optical character recognition, OCR, which, let's be honest, was often pretty inaccurate.
Yeah, lots of manual correction needed.
Exactly. This next-gen intelligent data processing, it offers much higher accuracy, it can actually self-correct errors, and it plugs seamlessly into core business systems, like ERPs, enterprise resource planning system.
The backbone systems.
Right, so that manual correction bottleneck, it largely disappears.
And we're seeing this actually happen. Any examples?
Oh, absolutely. The results can be stunning. Take Guzman y Gomez, the big F&B chain.
Okay.
They automated things like accounts payable, accounts receivable, matching purchase orders, monitoring schedules. Intelligently, I should say.
So what's the impact?
They cut data processing by over 120 hours daily per outlet.
120 hours a day.
Yeah. And they could move staff to more valuable, engaging work. Plus, they got 100% traceability in their back office accounting.
That's huge.
Any others? Mitsui Sumitomo Insurance Group, MSC, global insurer. They used intelligent process automation, IPA, for claims, had a smart inbox, automated paperless processing in multiple languages.
Sounds efficient.
Very. Processing time dropped from 5 hours to 2 hours per claim. Claimed operating expenses fell by 18%. And interestingly, employee morale actually went up.
Less tedious work, I guess. It's not just about cost cutting then.
Not at all. It's
Absolutely.
freeing up human potential. And in finance specifically, AI goes beyond just process automation now.
How's
It's moving into advanced analytics, predictive insights. We're seeing it used for sophisticated cash flow forecasting, finding subtle risks through anomaly detection, predicting issues before they happen.
proactive risk management?
Exactly. And ensuring regulatory compliance with, frankly, much greater speed and accuracy than before.
So this means finance leaders themselves need to change, right?
Absolutely. They need that deep industry knowledge, sure, but also new technical skills, maybe some foundational coding to run simulations or build dashboards, and fundamentally a data-driven mindset.
Asking the right questions of the AI.
And being able to interpret those AI-driven insights effectively, it's less gut feeling, more
Okay.
data-backed strategy.
Okay, let's switch gears again. Another massive area, customer engagement. Handling tons of customer interactions, that's always been a challenge, hasn't it?
A huge one.
Yeah.
And AI is completely changing the game here. We're
That
seeing the rise of conversational AI agents, talk bots. Companies like WZ.ai, Genesis are doing really interesting things.
talkbots, what makes them different now?
Well, take WYZ.ai. Their big thing is delivering truly human-like conversations. So good, apparently, that 95% of users don't even realize they're talking to an AI.
95%, that's incredible.
It is. And they support loads of local languages and accents over 9, including Bahasa Indonesia, Javanese, Sudanese. That enables seamless multilingual experiences in really diverse markets. Big advantage.
That really opens up markets. So how do these tools help with the common customer service headaches?
Well, first, efficiency and scale. That WIZ.ai case study with an Indonesian insurer, they saw an 80% cut in call times
80%.
and a 54% increase in customer conversion rates. Huge numbers.
Wow. What about the actual customer experience? Are the conversations any good?
That's where companies like Genesis come in with features they call SMILE, things like Smart Action. The AI doesn't just talk, it acts quickly using what they call small action models, or SAM.
Okay, so it can do things, not just chat.
Right. And emotional intelligence. The AI can actually pick up on mood shifts, excitement in the conversation, and adapt its tone.
Seriously, it can sense emotion.
Apparently so, to create more meaningful engagement. They even have a feature called Silent Never Bother, so the AI can handle interruptions gracefully.
That's pretty sophisticated. And do these work across different channels?
Yep, that's key. Omnichannel integration. They work across phone calls, live chat, messaging apps like WhatsApp, email, consistent experience everywhere.
And I guess all those conversations generate a ton of data.
Exactly. Which leads to a much deeper market understanding. Analyzing all those interactions reveals what customers really expect, what they like, where the friction points are.
So you can feed that back into improving products or training human agents.
Precisely. It creates this powerful feedback loop for continuous improvement.
It really ties back to that human-machine collaboration idea again.
It does. And tools like Microsoft's Dragon Copilot, assisting doctors directly with voice, just reinforce that trend. It's AI working with people, augmenting their abilities.
Okay, the benefits seem really clear, really compelling. But let's be real, putting AI into practice can't always be easy.
Yeah.
What are the roadblocks people are hitting?
Yeah, implementation is definitely where the rubber meets the road. The AI transformation playbook we looked at calls out several common challenges. First up, knowledge gaps.
Teams just don't know enough about Gen AI.
Exactly. They're not familiar with the building blocks. The suggested solution, get hands-on, guided internal hackathons.
Hackathons, how does that help?
Well, they mentioned FAZ, a fintech group. They had this exact problem. They worked with AWS, held a hackathon, and boom, engineers, product managers, data analysts all got up to speed really quickly. Practical, fast learning.
Okay, makes sense. What else?
Unclear ROI. It's hard to get budget if you can't show the potential return.
Always a challenge with new tech.
So the playbook says management has to define specific criteria for evaluating ideas. Focus on where data meets inefficiency or where automation makes obvious sense.
Find the clear wins first.
Right. And at FAZ, management was so impressed by the hackathon prototypes, they actually committed resources right away to ship the best ones. That showed clear ROI potential.
So the hackathon helped prove the value. Clever. Any other roadblocks?
Yeah. An operating model and user interface mismatch. Basically, the way it's deployed doesn't fit how people work, leading to a bad user experience. Nobody uses it.
The adoption problem. Solution.
Align the deployment with how people actually use things. Make sure the tech supports different ways of interacting, synchronous, asynchronous. Like, one financial services platform found a simple Slack bot was the perfect interface. Why? Because the team already lived in Slack.
Meet users where they are. Smart.
Then there's high costs, Gen AI experimentation, training, especially those GPUs. It can get expensive fast.
Yeah, I bet. How do you manage that?
Smart spend management, flexible payment plans. They mentioned an ANZ healthcare startup using Amazon Bedrock. It let them cut the cost of their digital therapist chatbot from potentially thousands down to just hundreds a month.
Finding cost-effective platforms.
Yeah.
Okay, last one.
A big one. Data privacy and cybersecurity compliance. Super critical.
Definitely. How do you tackle that?
Use tools that simplify compliance, basically, and make sure your people understand the risks involved. A European neobank used AWS tools like Cloud HSM and KMS to manage encryption keys, protect user data, and quickly verify compliance with standards like PCI DSS for payments.
So, using the right tools and training, it sounds like AI adoption isn't just flipping a switch.
Not at all. The sources describe it as a gradual, phased transformation. It needs holistic changes in processes, tech, and crucially, people management.
And I think I heard you say earlier, optimize before you automate.
Yes, that's a key takeaway. Clean up your existing workflows first. Automating a bad process just makes the bad process run faster.
Good point. Okay, let's zoom in geographically now. You mentioned Southeast Asia earlier as having unique dynamics for AI. Tell us more about that.
Yeah, Southeast Asia is fascinating. There's huge potential for what they call the Gen AI flywheel, this cycle of developing talent, building quality local data sets, and then driving usage and commercialization.
What kind of potential are we talking?
Big numbers. Some estimates suggest AI could add something like $1 trillion to Southeast Asia's GDP by 2030.
$1 trillion.
Yes,
Wow.
yeah. And globally, Gen AI alone might add between $2.6 to $4.4 trillion, possibly automating around 300 million full-time jobs worldwide. The scale is just immense.
But Southeast Asia must have specific challenges too.
It does. Data capture is a big one. A lot of data is still offline, unstructured, especially in rural areas where, 40% of the population lives.
It's harder to feed the AI models.
Exactly. Then there's the talent pool. Demand for AI skills is rising fast, but there aren't always enough opportunities for people to get that hands-on experience.
A skills gap.
And of course, global competition. Big international players might have easier access to global data or established distribution channels.
But those challenges, don't they also create opportunities for local players?
Absolutely. That's where localization becomes powerful. Think about languages and dialects. Models trained specifically on Bahasa or Tagalog or Vietnamese with all their nuances that creates a strong localization mode. Hard for outsiders to replicate quickly.
A competitive advantage.
Definitely. And developing models for specific local use cases tailored to local laws, cultural norms, specific industry data in healthcare or finance within that region. Huge potential there.
It sounds like regulation must be evolving quickly too.
Oh, incredibly fast. Much faster than previous tech waves like ride-hailing or social media, which took years. With Gen AI, we saw significant regulatory action, EU's AI Act, China's guidelines, ASEAN drafting a code in less than a year.
That is fast. What does that mean on the ground?
It creates this interesting dynamic. Data privacy laws are getting more mature, but specific Gen AI regulations are still catching up, especially around tricky things like copyright or data confidentiality.
Like that Samsung example.
Exactly. Samsung banning staff from using external AI tools after a data leak on ChatGPT highlights those immediate practical concerns companies are grappling with while the rules are still being written.
It's definitely a moving target, but we're already seeing AI make waves in the region, right?
Oh.
In retail, healthcare.
For sure. Companies like Caro in the used car market are integrating AI all across the buying and selling process. We talked about Wiz.ai talkbots in e-commerce. And yeah, healthcare in Southeast Asia is projected to grow massively with AI playing a big role. It's touching everything.
Okay, so to wrap up our deep dive, let's look even further ahead. What's seen as the holy grail of Gen AI? You mentioned autonomous agents.
Right. Autonomous AI agents. These are basically programs powered by LLMs designed to complete goals you give them.
Wow.
By intelligently breaking down the goal into smaller tasks, learning as they go, iterating, and accessing vast amounts of data, the idea is to meet your needs almost at a one-to-one personalized level.
And is this really taking off?
The growth is staggering. The market was around $5 billion in 2023. Projections. Maybe $29 billion by 2028.
Wow, huge jump.
And the developer interest is wild. When some open source code for these agents dropped, within 2 weeks, over 140,000 developers were building with it. Projects like AutoGPT just exploded onto the scene.
Okay, so how do they actually work? How do they manage tasks without constant human input?
It's a pretty neat process, actually. They take your objective, say, plan a trip to Italy. First, they break it down, find flights, book hotels, research activities, that's task planning.
Makes sense.
Then they learn, both from short-term memory, like what you just discussed in the conversation, and crucially, long-term memory. They often use something called a vector database for this.
Vector database, what's that?
Think of it like a super smart external library that AI can access. It stores vast amounts of information, experiences, facts, way beyond what fits in the AI's immediate thought process. It allows them to recall relevant info instantly.
So they have memory and context.
Right. Then they execute the tasks using tools they have access to or skills they've learned. And finally, they store the results, which helps them refine how they approach similar tasks in the future. It's often a multi-agent thing, different components working together in frameworks like AutoGPT.
It sounds powerful, but how mature is this tech right now?
Honestly, it's still early days. There's definitely a room for improvement in terms of quality and reliability, especially if the data they need isn't great or easily accessible.
So not perfect yet.
Far from it. But even with limitations, they unlock many use cases previously unrealizable by LLMs alone. They overcome those memory and learning gaps that simpler chatbots have.
Where are the biggest opportunities for them right now?
Probably in areas like personal assistance, think really customized scheduling, maybe even companionship down the line, and creative stuff, copywriting, marketing, where, absolute factual accuracy maybe has a bit more wiggle room, and the automation benefits are huge.
So the ultimate vision here is everyone has their own personal AI assistant.
Pretty much. Hyper-personalized agents deployed at massive scale. Eventually, you might be able to buy or maybe even build your own custom agents for whatever specific things you need help with. It's a very personal kind of revolution.
We've covered so much ground today. It's really clear AI isn't just, another tech trend. It feels like a fundamental shift touching every single layer of how organizations work.
Absolutely. From back office finance stuff to deeply personal customer chats, even critical healthcare decisions.
It's profoundly reshaping how we operate, how we interact with the world.
And if you tie it all together, success really seems to hinge on that blend. The robust tech, yes, but also adaptable organizations, and really importantly, empowered, well-trained people.
That dynamic interplay between all three.
Exactly, creating that symbiosis.
So maybe the final thought for you, our listeners, this. If AI can take on these complex, almost human-like tasks, diagnosing conditions, managing finances, being a digital companion, what does that free us up to do? What new frontiers emerge for human creativity, for connection, for tackling big societal problems when these things that seem like science fiction become, well, commonplace?
It's a big question.
It is. Something to definitely reflect on in your own role, your own industry. How might you engage with this incredibly fast-moving, truly transformative AI landscape?